Yeah, back at it again, chopping it up real quick. Last video I did, the blindfold, the reprobate mind. I ain't got no views on that. But I stated in that video, that probably would be the last video I do for a while until everything comes to play. But the reason why I decided to whip out the camera, I was riding where I am riding, and I was just thinking, because I got off work this afternoon at 2. It was a volunteer shift, and so it was a volunteer shift. So I went in and I was just ready to get through the day, to come back home, to relax, probably look over some notes or whatever, little study notes, and watch some football and relax. And this is, the reason why I did this, because of the topics and the discussions at work today. I was just being, a bystander, not getting into any arguments or or debates, because I stated that I was going to fall back until everything come to pass, and we're going to see how it's going to be. So I'm gonna start towards the end and go back to the beginning. We was at the time clock, about to clock out. I was already frustrated a little bit. I'll get to that. But we was at the time clock about to clock out, and this one individual, he happened to be a Trump supporter, and I know the guy since I was like a little kid. Stayed in the same neighborhood, and he went to my church. We went to the same church, or what, So we had like little discussions and stuff pertaining to Bible and all that, because I don't no longer go to that church or church, and I was just sharing some of my knowledge and all that I was running across. Like, we was taught a lot of things like wrong, and him and a cousin of mine, I got them together. They wouldn't they wouldn't receive it. And my cousin, he used to come to the house, I'll say 3 years ago. He brought the subject up. We started talking about the Bible, and I was like, well, come inside, man. We can crack the book open, and chop it up. So I was hitting him with some stuff, and he never came back. He ran. He never came back to the house. So let's speed it up with his brother. He was just telling everybody Trump is the best president in the history of the United States. And everybody was at the clock riding, laughing. Like, one dude was like, man, I don't know about that. You tripping on that now. He was like, this is the best economy we have ever seen. And they was laughing. So I was listening. I was like, man, I'm going to stick to my word. I'm not going to get in it. I'm not going to get in it. Then something just say, yo, go ahead and speak up. And I was like, what you say? So I ain't heard you clearly. I got my headphones in. What you say? You say the Congress, this the best Congress ever. He like, no, the economy. And he looked at me because he know, like, me and him disagree on a lot. And when we was chopping it up about the Bible and all that, he wouldn't receive it or whatever. And he was like, by his look, his facial expressions, he was like, oh man, he ain't gonna agree with me. Here we go. And everybody was like, nah, cuz, don't get him. Don't get him. Don't tear him up. Don't get him. And I was like, well, I actually agree that this was the best economy that we had. They was like, don't let him trick you. Don't let him get you in that trap. I'm like, nah, it ain't no trap, man. I'll debate anybody on this. I'm like, until this virus came in, this was the best economy. I like the facts don't lie. I'm like, yo, you can't hate it. And he was getting, I wouldn't even say double team or triple team. I'll say quadruple team, if that even, a word. But he was getting, getting it from every angle. And so my cousin was at the clock, like, what? And I'm like, man, that's why I did this video, because what if Trump wins this presidency? Now, I was chopping it up with another cousin of mine. He's starting to come through a little bit on what I'm showing him and the information, because he hates Trump's also. But like I say, he's starting to come through. We share little videos here and there. I even showed him on some of my YouTube videos or what. We were chopping it up. And so he was like, man, dog, I ain't no Biden. Then he literally admitted the fraud, man. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to tell people. He was like, man, if Trump win this thing, even though I don't like him, if Trump win this thing, it gonna be all hell break loose. People gonna be literally having heart attacks, falling out. Now he was like, I'm dead up serious. I was laughing. He like, I'm dead up serious, man. Somebody gonna have a heart attack. Just think about it. And I was like, man, yeah, I see what you're saying, man. Because everybody so convinced and all that. And so now to back it up a little bit, this is what pissed me off earlier. I was in my work area, and my man, the same very dude who I did the video on about the blindfold and the reprobate mind, because this dude really got a blindfold on him. And he came back with the old Trump. Yeah, man. They say he in the White House laughing and dancing, laughing at what's going on about them tearing up the Capitol and the white supremacy out there. He out there laughing. He in there laughing. I say, and you believe that? Yeah. CNN said it. Jake Tapper said it. I say, man, that's your problem. You just take everything on value on what the media say. I like, who was, so you telling me somebody was in the White House in that very same room watching Trump laugh and dance and cheer on the rioters and all that for you to be saying this? Yeah, it been one of his team. They leaked it. I'm like, man. I like, well, show it to me then. I'd like to see that video. Then I won't have nothing to say. Let me see the video. Show it to me. Oh, man. He starts stuttering and all that. All you got to do, just look it up and all, Jake Tapper and all that. I say, all right, I'm going to try. Man, I sit there and tried to find that video. Did my searches and all that. I could not find it. But he was like, man, Trump got you fooled. Y'all just blind. That man is straight up racist. He blind. Y'all blind. And I like, you know what? I'm going to take your word for it. Let's say Trump he's just racist. Okay, straight up. I'm going to take your word for it. Now, let's shift the conversation. You're right. Now, I'm going to bring something up about Biden. Now, I'm going to pose your question on you about, well, your same statement, what you're saying about we're blind and all that. We can't accept the fact. Can you accept the fact or can you not? Can you accept the fact? Can you accept the fact that Joe Biden admitted that they got the biggest voter fraud organization on, period? And then he's coming out to the public saying it's an honest election. Can you at least admit that? Nah. I'm like, nah, ain't no nah. Nah, ain't no. I say, what you doing right now? You can't accept the fact that this man told the people that they got the biggest fraud. And then on the other hand, he coming out saying it was an honest and fair election. He lying. And he was over-talking me, trying to over-talk me. And I basically was talking to him like a child because he's naive and he's ignorant. I said, bruh, now I already said I wasn't going to have this argument with you no more because we're not going to get nowhere. And then I slice and dice you up the other day when I already told you I don't want to get into this because we're not going to get nowhere. But you forced me and I slice and dice you up because you contradicted yourself. You won't let me talk. I said, you keep cutting me off by me explaining that he was cutting me off. I was like, bruh, look, when one person speaks, you allow the person to speak. You ask me a question. Now I'm going to answer it. As soon as I start talking, you cannot cut me off. You can't do that. I let you talk, let you get what you saying. Soon as I go to correct you or respond, you like cutting me off. I say, man, you being ignorant, man. You ignorant. And I like, this is why I can't get no way with you at first. I used to like me and you going back and forth. You know, it wasn't, you know, nothing personal or nothing. No feelings or nothing. We just having a debate. Or whether we agree with each other or not. I say, but you taking it to another level. You quick talking me. You being ignorant, you quit talking me over something you don't even know about, but you apparently got the answer and making yourself look like a fool. And I was like, so you can't admit that because you fighting that. So basically you can't accept that. It ain't no voter fraud. It ain't no voter fraud. I like, you doing it now. The man sit there and told you. He lying. The man is lying. You got a blindfold on you. How you saying I got a blindfold and we got a blindfold? I just gave you the benefit of the doubt. And I'm telling you that this man is lying. And you refuse to believe it. And I giving you all this evidence. I like, what about the girl who incriminated herself? Get locked up on Instagram. Admitting voter fraud. Talking about they got to get Trump up out of here. What about that? What about the dead people? I went there. I said, they're saying no dead people voting. And then you got the Georgia secretary coming out saying it wasn't 5,000 dead people who voted, it was 2. How would you interpret that? How would you interpret that? Even if somebody want to say, oh, he meant 2 people, that's still voter fraud. You're lying. You're saying there's 0 and no dead people vote. Then you're going to come and slip up and told the truth for very 1 second that it wasn't 5,000, it was 2. Which, if you can really comprehend that, if anybody can comprehend that, that's 2,000, not no 2 people. But if it was 2 people, that's dead people voting. Then he had the nerve to say they used the policy that Trump put in. By them using his policy, that's why they found out that dead people been voting. I said, did you just hear yourself? How they using a policy that they're saying there's no voter fraud, there's no dead people voting, but then again, he slipped up and admit that dead people voted. I like, that makes no sense. You keep contradicting yourself. Then he contradicted himself when he first came to me, was telling me about the white supremacists threatening to, come do havoc on DC. And he's like, yeah, Trump instigated that and all that. I say, hold on. So you saying Trump sent the white supremacist people out there? Yeah. I said, where you getting this from? I said, what about he condemned the KKK and the white supremacy and all that? He part of it. He part of the KKK and all that. And then I'm talking about the Capitol riot. Capitol riot. Trump responsible for that. But the white supremacy out there now, he ain't responsible for that right now. I said, brother, you just contradicted yourself again. No, I didn't. I said, oh my goodness. I said to myself, yo, my partner is slow. He's slow. And he blinded. Talking about I'm blinded and everybody else. No, dog, you blinded. You straight up blind and you on the slow side. You just contradicted how do that? Oh my Lord. You just said he had nothing to do with the white supremacy people out there now. But when you first opened up, you said he sent them out there and he responsible for it. I'm like, man, dog. Then that when I really got hot and I got mad, and he's like, you can't accept the fact that your president is a racist. And I'm like, dog, is Joe Biden not a racist, or is he? And you just can't accept the fact. I said, man, yo, this go on, yo, go on, get off. I waved him off because I was mad at the ignorancy and the stupidity. I already chopped him up, sliced him up, and then I tell him he contradicted himself. But If Trump wins this, it's gonna be hell to pay. He ain't gonna have nothing to say. He gonna be shocked, and he's still gonna find a way to argue that. That's called blinded. Well, we gonna wait to see. And I just wanted to chop this up.